Alright, today I'm going to show you how to disassemble and reassemble the Remington 597. First thing you do, make sure you remove your clip, your bolt open, make sure there's nothing inside your gun. First thing you're going to do, I've already loosened them to make this video a little bit easier. You're going to take an Allen wrench, 2.5 millimeter metric, and you're going to loosen both of the screws on the bottom of the stock. Don't have to take them completely out of the stock, but they do have to be completely out of the gun. Next thing you do is you're going to put your gun upside down and you're going to drop it out like that. After you've done that, your gun should look something like this. Once you've done that, you're going to flip the gun over and there should be a pin on the back of the gun right here. You're going to want to press that pin out. Once you've done that, it's my pin. Once you've done that, trigger assembly should drop out the bottom like so. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look in the bottom here. And there is, if you've watched my video on the 1022, it is very, very similar to that. Okay, and once we got that step, alright, once we get this step, you're going to need a small Allen wrench. I didn't have the Allen wrench, so I had to go get one real quick. And on the back, there are two little screws or bolts there. And you're just going to take your Allen wrench and you're going to undo both of them. Now be careful when you're doing this. You're pushing in so you don't want it to just fly out because that spring's on the back of it. Okay. Now, once you've done that, there's two pins in there that the bolt slides on. Once you undo both of them, the pins will slide right out through the back of them. These little screws are just plugs to keep them in there. Once you've done that, on the inside, pull the bolt back and these pins should slide right out through the back of the gun. Comes one spring here. Here comes two. Well, came one spring, and there's your bolt. Yeah, so that's about it for this part of it here. Alright, so I went ahead and put one in because it takes me a while. So what you're going to do is there's a little hole inside the bolt for the spring to fit in. So you're going to want to place the spring inside that hole, which it only goes a centimeter in, half an inch, somewhere around there. So you're going to place the other end of the spring over the pin. I'll zoom in so you can see. Alright. See, I placed one in that hole. Wait for it to focus. One end. in this hole and one end on that pin, and then you're just going to work it, press the pin in slowly and use your hand and work the spring on over the pin. You have to take your nail and you have to slide the pin down, or slide the spring down over the pin. It's going to take a while. Okay. And sometimes the end of the spring will get all bunched up down there at the bottom, so you gotta wiggle it around. Now I've got my 2 pins back in. I'm gonna try and have to move it around until the pins align with the hole at the other end of the gun down here. Right down here, which you can't see anything I'm doing. Okay, so what I did was I just slid the pins in, and I wiggled the bolt around by lifting here, and tried to get the pins to line. And once the pins go flush in the hole, you're gonna want to take your little screws again and screw this back in. Okay, now once you've tightened those up all the way, make sure they're good and tight, you're going to want to take your trigger assembly, and there's a lip on the front end, so you're going to fit it down in there like that. You're going to line the back end of it up with the pin hole. Slide your pin back in, press it down, it locks in. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your screws and your stock. You're going to put your screws back in your stock, and you're going to set the rifle down back into the stock. Once you've done that, press the screws back in and retighten. And once you've got all these tightened back up, I usually take my rifle, shoot a couple shots out of it, do a dry fire, just to make sure you've got everything there working again, make sure everything fits, and that's it. Alright, come see you in my other videos.